Hello, Splatoon enjoyers. Welcome back to some more Ludi tonight. We are here with you with the Div 10 finals, and I am joined by the Topic. What's up, Topic?
Hello, I'm doing fine. Finals week, every college student hates those words, but in Splatoon terms, probably the moment that all teams are waiting for, hoping to prove themselves, win their division, possibly move up to next season. So I know that both these teams are willing to bring out everything they got.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure we're gonna have an absolute banger of a match. I love Div 10 matches. Any low Div match is always super exciting to watch. And we've got the finals, so we've got, the two best teams, according to the bracket at least, the two best teams in this division ready to battle it out to take all out glory in their division. So lot is on the line. You're gonna see some probably these two teams playing at their A game, and we're gonna take a look at the map modes here. The first map mode we're gonna be playing on is Zone's Umami Ruins. Topic. You have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, this is a two-zone map, a really big point of emphasis for both teams is that top mid section. Since you do have a lot, you can cover both sides relatively safely. Though when you are pushing, you do have to remember the enemy team has that silo, that top left area. So you gotta make sure you gotta make sure you have that first thing first, then pushing forward. But also, you gotta be careful. If you push too far, then you can just get punished and then snowball the other way, since this map does tend to snowball if a couple mistakes are made in pushing or defending.
Yeah, absolutely. As we're gonna roll out with the two teams here, look at the comps. We have got the Stamper Nouveau and a 52 gal coming out
Ooh.
from one side, and on the other side, a double NZAP comp with two Tacticoolers. For I'm not sure which team that is, but that's quite an interesting comp. Two NZAPs on one team, as we see one of them already going down. Topic. This is going to be a pretty interesting battle to watch here with a double cooler comp. This team is going to want to have to play very, very fast off these coolers, and they're basically always going to have instant respawns.
Yeah, and I think what they really want to try to do is prioritize that cooler rotation, making sure you always have a cooler active ready for both teams, as they are using that right now to their advantage, getting 2 down. However, Astro with a nice snipe on the jet, trying to cancel that out. And here we are, Echoes of our Encore and Arrows of Gale are in a really tight mid fight right now.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw, what
Oh,
a snipe there. As the Stamper comes in, gets the direct in mid to take one of the zones back for Encore. Now moving up to this top mid area. Stamper seems to be somewhat alone, being looked at by multiple members of Arrows of Gale. Does get taken now, and Arrows of Gale are going to retake the zone to keep on pushing their lead further down into the 80s. We see the Inkjet coming out and Ink Strikes on the side of Arrows of Gale to try and lock out Encore into their zone as the snipe happens again with the Charger taking out the Inkjet midair. The Charger does have strikes readied up to try and help their team with the lockout. The Cooler coming out as well. So still so far no picks for Encore as we see the Crab coming out. All the specials are being used to try and retake zones here for Encore.
yeah, and I think a really big matchup in this game is going to be Charger Ballpoint, especially since Ballpoint does lose that matchup pretty hard, especially with that Inkjet. So the rest of Arrows of Gales have to make sure that they're able to give enough space for their Inkjet to do anything. But right now, Arrows of Gale going all the way down to 26 with the strikes, pushing Encore back even further. Encore may only have 1 or 2 more chances to try to push in here.
Yeah, not much time left now. 13 points left on the clock. Encore have to actually rush the zone
Oh
in the
my
last-ditch effort
god.
to try and get the zone. The strikes come in. They're going to cap one of the
Oh,
zone as
oh,
Arrows of Gale are going to try and cap it
still
back. The other
going.
zone flips. They're really trying to keep the
Oh,
zone from flipping both towards Arrows of Gale. As we see Arrows of Gale are finally able to clear out mid, get a little bit more paint on the zone, and get that last tick of score, down for them to take the knockout. A pretty clean game for Arrows of Gale with a little bit of a tricky ending there, but they definitely were able to get it done. And part of me, wants to give credit to that double cooler lineup that they've got going on. They seemed, even when they, were down a player, it didn't really matter for them because their players were always able to respawn and come back and get right back on lockout. So even though they have, maybe a bad matchup between their backlines, I mean, I think that double cooler really showed why it's being run, why it's being chosen. A pretty dominant lockout for Arrows of Gale here, Topic. I mean, that's quite a way to start off your set.
yeah, I want to shout out Crash fans. We're seeing on the instant replay, getting, I believe, a double and an assist, getting that triple, kind of securing that win. Since Encore, they only had one last opportunity. They had to just rush the zone. They did manage to neutralize it for a little bit. They got neutralized at 3, then neutralized it at 1. But unfortunately for them, it just wasn't enough. And yeah, like you were saying, Arrows of Gale, I think their idea with this double Zuka is to always be fighting. Since you have one person pop a Zuka, or not pop a Zuka, pop a cooler, the whole team grabs it, they couldn't go in. Guess what? The Zap's already back with another cooler. So I think it's just that constant aggression that really worked out in their favor.
Yeah, I mean, I've really only seen, high level or top level teams run double cooler comps. You don't really see that much, even in like mid level, but a low level, like, this is the lowest division in Ludi Div 10, and we're seeing a double cooler comp. I'm honestly very impressed with Arrows of Gale as to how they've managed to make that work for them as we move on to the second map mode of the set. Inkblot TC, which I do have to say, Inkblot is my favorite map in this game. I really do love this map mode. So I'm a big fan. I'm a really big fan of Inkblot, but I want to know your thoughts, Topic, as we
You
see the
know,
comps roll out.
everyone is entitled to their own opinion. Some of them might be better than others, but we won't talk about that right now. As we are going to see a kind of a switch up from Encore, going with the vanilla roller, a much more aggressive weapon. As for Arrows of Gale, they decide to switch off of one of the coolers, going for the 50 to a much more fight focused weapon. So let's see that transition over to a lot more fighting will be able to help them out.
Yeah, we still see the Charger versus Ballpoint matchup, so it does seem like Arrows of Gale have not, really thought that as too big of a deal. As, however, 3 of them go down, letting Encore, get the first big push of this game. At least it looks like they will be getting the first big push of this game, but like, yeah, those back lines, as we see right there, the Charger looking at the ballpoint.
Ooh, nice
Injet does
hit.
get a snipe anyways on one of the players of Arrows of Gale, as we see basically a full wipeout going to the side of Encore, as they're now pushing up into the enemy bats here. We see the roller
Ooh.
gets the pick on the ballpoint, as they do get picked off by the 52 Gale. Now 2 down on both sides, as we see Arrows of Gale trying to take back their plat. Another one goes down on side of Encore. The tower is still being pushed even further into the base of Arrows of Gale, as the roller jumps in, is going to be taken out, and that might be a successful retake from Arrows of Gale.
Yes, indeed, very successful, and they managed to avoid one of the most disastrous moments in the game. Getting a roller with bubble off of your bats as a Splatoon player, that's very, very hard to do. But let's see how they're going to be able to respond, as unfortunately they are going to go 2 down to, guess what? There's the roller just sharking around with that ninja switch, being able to go around wherever it wants. And just like that, Encore is back on offense.
Yeah, absolutely. That bubble on roller is so incredibly powerful. It is often quoted as the best bubble weapon in the game. No one can really enter your bubble, whether they like it or not. And you just are able to take up so much space, as 2 go down on the side here of Encore. We're looking at the end zap, not really pushing up too far, because they've got the man disadvantage. Arrows of Gale, they really, with only 2 minutes 45 seconds left in the clock here, they're gonna have to try and take mid and get a push of their own. They did really well last game, but this game has not really gone their way as they may have expected it to, as we're seeing maybe the first hints of a push coming in from Arrows of Gale, but 2 go down. The ballpoint and the bucket both gonna get picked off by Encore, as we see the Gal trying to go for a last minute pick, but does get picked off by the NZEP. Now going after another member of Arrows of Gale, as that push didn't really work out for them. Topic, I mean,
Yeah.
this game has certainly not really gone their way.
Yeah, this game so far we still have 2 minutes to decide everything, has been in Encore's favor, and I think the switch to the roller does help, since you kind of do stop a lot of those instant pushes from Arrows of Gale, but it does help out on offense, as that's another 3 down for Arrows of Gale, as Encore gets to that second checkpoint, which most people consider kind of the winning checkpoint, since it's very, very hard to get up that ramp, since it is uninkable. But thankfully for Arrows of Gale, Encore is going to go 3 down, but has a roller in their bats. Unfortunately, no bubble, and is forced to jump out.
Yeah, I mean, that roller is quite a threat, like you mentioned, but, they do go down there. Definitely no easy push here for Arrows of Gale to capitalize on, as they're back, they're back in mid, and they have to try and really, take control and use specials to their advantage to deal with that roller, perhaps, and also get picked, as we see the Charger going down to the bucket. Now 3 down on the side of Encore. This could be Arrows of Gale, Arrows of Gale's only opportunity to actually get a push going here, as they're, finally pushing down their best score that they had gotten before. Ballpoint now moving on to the plat of Encore. Gets
nice.
1 pick on the Charger, I believe, and now 2 go down on the side of Encore. This push may not be dead for Arrows of Gale, as we see the 52 Gale trying to shark around, get another pick. Lots of skirmishing around the tower. Hard to tell really where the teams are standing in this push, as the roller goes down, and Arrows of Gale are going to try and keep on pushing further onto the plat, as the bucket does get a trade on the bats. Topic.
Yeah, they do get a trade that will help, but unfortunately for them, the roller does roller things and just starts swinging at tower, gets a triple and a wipeout. And now Encore, all they have to do is not feed. They have to make sure they keep as many specials as possible, as the roller gets a pretty decent trade for them, getting rid of that cooler, making sure they don't have enough of that cooler charge for their last attempted push. And now Arrows of Gale, this is their last opportunity. They have all 4 members up. The all-out fight. 1 goes down for them, unfortunately, as there's a lot happening on tower. Strikes popping off, whale popping off, 2 down on Encore. They're able to jump on tower, and Encore will tie the series up 1-1.
Yeah, we saw those strikes coming out from both teams on the tower at the same time, but unfortunately it didn't really matter for Arrows of Gale, because they didn't have to touch the tower, but it didn't matter for Encore. For Arrows of Gale, they had to touch the tower, and because, some of those strikes were coming from the side of Encore, they could not touch the tower. And that is, that's what we call GG strikes in competitive Splatoon. So, you know, that'll happen to you, and it's just a very powerful tool to use in tower control, as we just saw right there with the game basically ending, no overtime for Arrows of Gale, as the set goes to a 1-1 tie topic. I mean, certainly, I think you have to give credit to that roller for completely turning the tide on, you know, this set. I mean, not really turning the tide on the set, but turning the tide on, you know, the games, the momentum. The roller seems to have really worked out topic. And, you know, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, and I think it's just Arrows the Gale wasn't ready for it because when you play against the roller players, you have to play a little bit differently. You have to make sure to paint not every little speck of thing, but a majority of roller's favorite spots. You gotta make sure you paint that because if not, as we just saw, they'll just pop out of nowhere, get one, get two, heck, maybe even get three, and just keep your opponent up or keep your opponent pushes going, or even just stop your push, as we saw in this game right here. So I think the change to the roller, while yes, it did kind of hinder them in the paint a little bit, I think just the outright pressure of getting those kills did help them in the long term.
Yeah, roller is definitely a weapon that, you know, maybe like lower level players definitely have to deal with a lot more. It's definitely, you know, much more of a threat at lower levels, as we're seeing, you know, in Div 10. This roller is just absolutely dominating. But we are moving on to Rainmaker on Robo Ramen. This map mode, I don't know. It's Rainmaker. A lot of people, you know, will you know, hate on Rainmaker, and I'm kind of with them on that. I don't really like Rainmaker that much, and on this map, it's a bit meh. You know, I don't know. What are your thoughts, topic?
You know, we are exact opposites. I love Rainmaker on this map because I'm a Dreadbringer player, and Dreadbringer just does a lot of damage to object, or a lot of object damage to the shield. And since this map, you just take, since the checkpoint is just on the ramp, like not too far away, you can just pop it and just go and get that aggressive start. So I think what both teams have to really watch out for, well, since this map is kind of like a ramen bowl, like everything happens in the middle, you have to watch out for those ledges, since you can come up from basically anywhere, since this map has actual flanks, which is very rare for this game. So I think just making sure you watch out for on all sides can be very important.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, that bucket that we see coming out from the side of Arrows of Gale is going to, you know, thrive on this map. Look to the ledges, like you said, as we see now. One, you know, thing to mention is that the charger on Encore has switched to a vanilla charger and not a ZNF charger, so they don't have those strikes anymore. They're gonna have the Ink Vac, which they might be looking to, you know, maybe cheese the Rainmaker a little bit, as you know, it's not an uncommon strategy to use the Ink Vac and allow the Rainmaker to just run forwards without any fire at them. As we see one go down on Encore at the beginning of this match. So far, just a bunch of fighting in mid, as now another one goes down on the side of Encore. People down on both sides, still lots of fighting in mid. We see the Ink Vac coming out, and a pretty stalemate beginning of this match here, Topic.
Yeah, and I think that just happens on this map a lot. You really need to push forward. You really need to get one or two picks to get something going. If not, it can happen just like this where it's a stalemate for the first minute. As I say that, Encore does manage to break through the first checkpoint, but they are jumping in though, so this may be an opportunity for them to go a little bit further. Dizzy just does manage to pick it up. However, they are going to be forced back, waiting for their teammates to respawn. It is going to work, but now they're kind of stuck here. Let's see if we get a couple more picks, but that might work out in their favor.
Yeah, absolutely. We see Encore now, you know, getting the bucket down as the gal goes down, and the ball point goes down on the side of Arrows of Gale. So Encore could now maybe try and look for a push, but 3 down on side of Encore. Looks like their push might be there. Only an Ink Vac left, as this Charger's gonna have to back up without any teammates to support it. You know, it is the backline. It's meant to, you know, get back when the push is dead and give jumps to its teammates. That is what it's gonna do, as Arrows of Gale are gonna have to try and look to retake mid. I think we should mention that roller that we talked about so much before is now gone from the side of Encore, which we'll have to see how that affects their gameplay, but certainly it hasn't really affected their opening here, as they did get a very good push off the opening, even without the help of their roller, as we see Arrows of Gale now trying to go for this very first checkpoint and try and, you know, put their stamp on this match. There's the back, and it pick on the Rainmaker. 3 go down on the side of Arrows of Gale, Topic.
Yeah, you were talking about that cheese earlier, but instead it's really good defensive weapon since you're kind of trapped on this map. Yes, you can go on the right side, but it's a lot more dangerous than a lot of teams are willing to take that risk for. So they just decide to just go straight through. And Astro is able to use the vac and just say, "You shall not pass," and then work in their favor, getting two with the Rainmaker pop. It's a chance for Encore to extend their lead. That's another one down for Arrows of Gale. There's a vac at the ready to push themselves forward.
And they're absolutely rushing the Rainmaker towards the pedestal. They don't extend their lead. The Inkback shot comes out, but 3 go down on the side of Encore all at once. We did see the Inkback try to be used there, but to no avail. As Arrows of Gale are going to try to bring the Rainmaker back. Yes, absolutely, the Inkback is a very good defensive and offensive tool in Rainmaker. In other modes, I mean, not so much, but in Rainmaker, it can be used some effectiveness as we see one go down on both sides as Arrows of Gale finally get this checkpoint for themselves. 1 minute and 30 seconds left on the clock, and Arrows of Gale have to get a lead, but the Charger's gonna pick off the Rainmaker, yet again halting the push of Arrows of Gale. This Charger is really putting in the work as we see them pick up the Rainmaker and try to go for more points on the board, but they still do not have the lead. Arrows of Gale still have to keep on trying to push and make this push go all the way to get the lead. They try again, but they do not get it, Topic.
Yeah, looks like the momentum is gone for Arrows of Gale. As they are going to get wiped out, Encore is going to let it, or not going to let it reset. They're going to try to take it and go as far as possible. Since Astral does have a back at the ready, they're able to protect the Rainmaker for a while here. With only 55 seconds left, Arrows of Gale, they have to be getting a little bit desperate here, since they know that they were super close to winning this game. That's 2 down for Arrows of Gale. Nuggy here just staying alive, getting flanked by 2 people, still just chewing through the clock. And unfortunately for Arrows of Gale, they only have 30 seconds left to get something going.
Yeah, I mean, that was quite the survival for, for Nuggy there with the Rainmaker. As Arrows of Gale, this is their last chance. I think this is definitely their last chance with only 20 seconds left. They have to absolutely rush forward. The Gal moving forwards, pops Whale. Going to be trying to get 2 picks down on Encore side. This could be it for Arrows of Gale, but the Inkback is out. Gonna be kind of stopping the momentum for Arrows of Gale. They're gonna have to absolutely go. The Inkback shot comes out, and the Rainmaker's being rushed, and they go down. That might just be it. I don't think there's gonna be any overtime.
They might be popping. They grabbed it.
And the overtime, but it's not enough. They just barely did not grab the Rainmaker fast enough to get overtime, which is honestly really unfortunate for them, as if they had picked that Rainmaker up maybe a couple frames earlier, they would have gotten an overtime and another chance to get the lead there. But it is going to go the way of Encore yet again, with all the momentum going their way. Topic. I mean, that's kind of a tragic end for Arrows of Gale.
Yeah, but a quick correction, they did grab it. It's just the Rainmaker just died almost immediately. So effectively, they did not get the chance at overtime. But yeah, shout out to Dizzy on the side of Encore, just going for the Rainmaker, knowing they only had about 5 to 6 seconds left, and getting it just in time to where by the time they popped it, there would be little to no time. And then the rest of Encore just came forward, got the pick when they needed it, and that was... Wait, did they pick it up? Yes, they did pick it up. He just died immediately. Okay, but yeah, like I said, it was just really good defense from Encore, and that's a really good game to win.
Yeah, I'm not sure what killed the Rainmaker there. I thought it might have been the Charger, but it's really hard to tell in such a split second, moment like that. As we're going to go back to the replays to maybe try and see what specifically killed the Rainmaker, or if it was just a bit of Nintendo lag. It does not seem to have been the Charger. I'm not sure what happened. They just kind of exploded. But I'm not sure, Topic. I'm not sure at all what happened with the Rainmaker.
Oh no, it was the 52. If you go back, you can see that the 52 did manage to flank, and Andu's name was right there on the grates. As you can see up in the top right section, you see Andu's name, and it was able to get the kill on the Rainmaker.
Yeah, I see that now. You see those shots coming out just as the camera switched it back to the Charger. As we go on to the next map mode of Clam Blitz on Museum, which is definitely a pretty popular inclusion in many map lists. I don't mind this map mode too much. I think it's all right. I think it's pretty decent as we see. Not too many comp changes coming out. Still, the vanilla charger coming out from Astral on the side of Encore. Still the ballpoint coming out from Yashi and the bucket. Both 52s on both sides. Not many comp changes as already one goes down on the side of Encore. Still just fighting in mid, but Arrows of Gale with an early pick, but their Gale goes down as well as the fight is being pretty much contained in mid here. We see Astral trying to go for some picks here as well.
Yeah, and I think it's just what this map is. It's about getting onto enemy plat. Like most games, honestly, will spend like I want to say like 70% of the time in neutral because it takes it takes a lot of resources to get to the enemy plat. Since the enemy knows you're going to be there, so they're going to throw everything in the kitchen sink at you to keep them off of their plat. As right now, Arrows of Gale's able to just rush it in and go get the first score of the game. They might have a couple of follow-up. Crashmat gets a few more. It's just a ballpoint. Gets it in down to 51. What a wild push just coming out of nowhere for Arrows of Gale.
Yeah, I mean, they just absolutely bum rushed the basket there, and that ballpoint got the ball in to score another 20 points for Arrows of Gale. They might have had a bit of a weaker start in the past 2 games, but definitely not seeming that way here as the Charger gets another pick on the side of Encore. Encore might have their chance to counter push here, and maybe take the lead back from Arrows of Gale as they have successfully, surmounted the task of getting onto the plat. There's the back, there's the clam going in, another clam going in. They only need 9 more points left to take lead back, but they might not be able to do it. 2 down going on the side of Encore as they're going to have to back up, and already we see Rain on this ends up trying to paint up mid, take back the space that Arrows of Gale had before. The Stamper now going down on the side of Encore, and no lead for Encore, but definitely, as you said, a tricky task to get up onto that plat on this map mode, specifically as we see the Cal going for the left side flank, trying to make something sneaky happen. They're still pushing it, but it's not looking like it's gonna work right now, Topic. Oh, never mind, it's gonna work.
It's gonna work.
Oh
Yeah,
my God.
Encore just gets it in. Unfortunately, no follow-up as everyone else goes down, leaving just the Charger with 6 clam. It's not gonna work. However, for Encore, that does bring their penalty down to 60, so another power clam would work. As Crashmat does get 2 with another power on the way, with a couple more clams, getting down to maybe 30, getting down to 35, 26, 23, 2017. That might be a game-winning push with how well Arrows of Gale's defense has been playing, getting 2 down, a 2-for-2 trade. As we do see Yatash. Never mind, I can
Oh
pronounce the
my
name.
God.
I couldn't pronounce the name right. The game's already over. Uh, okay.
Yeah, the clam just comes in. I mean, and clam blitz pushes can be like that sometimes if you really get such an advantage. It really comes down to, did you gather enough clams in neutral so that when you get that push, it's a big push. That's really what a lot of clam blitz games come down to, is not only making an opportunity push, but being ready to score a bunch of points when it does come your time to put clams in the basket. And that's exactly what we saw Arrows of Gale do there right at the end. We see Crashmat in the replay here rushing for the basket. This is a bit earlier on in the game when they got their massive or this might have been the last push when they got their final knockout. We see clams going in, and this clam economy that they have here really worked in their favor, and I think that's just a really important part of clam blitz. As we see, I believe they're about to score their power clam. There it comes in from the bucket on the side of Arrows of Gale to I believe that will tie up the set 2-2. It's a pretty exciting topic as we move on to Splat Zone's Mako Mart.
Yeah, and before I talk about the game, I just want to talk about a little bit of background of how both these teams got here. As Encore, I believe they only lost 4 games in this 2D season so far. They lost 2 games in the quarterfinals and 2 games in the semifinals. So it looks like it was putting up a really big challenge for them. They went 5-0 in groups, didn't lose a single game. Like I said, they've only lost 4 games in 4 games during the playoffs. Arrows of Gale, on the other hand, they did win more. They also only lost 4 games, but they did go 4-1 in their Ludi set or Ludi group. So I do think they are gonna have a bit of an uphill challenge. But right now, they're matching them blow for blow.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Arrows of Gale with an incredibly strong first game of the set, and now another incredibly strong fourth game of the set, only, losing out on the Rainmaker and the tower control games. Maybe Splat Zones and Clan Blitz are their strong modes, which could lead to a pretty interesting dynamic coming up in the future games, as we're still nowhere closer to, seeing who will win this matchup, but definitely a strong, history for Encore, and like you said, not really having lost that many games on the run up to this game. But as we
A
see the comps
Carbon.
falling out, we see a Carbon coming out from, I believe that is the side of Encore. Yeah,
Encore, yes.
Encore, yeah. And I should also mention the Tri-Slosher Nouveau coming out from the side of Arrows of Gale. As already one goes down on the side of Encore to have a strong start for Arrows of Gale.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Arrows of Gale was going to trade one back right away. But they are able to take the zone for the meantime. And I want to talk about this double bucket comp. Since Macklemore is bucket favored with these stacks, with these kind of hills, it is very bucket favored. So I think Arrows of Gale can use that to advantage. But never mind, the Carbon comes in, gets one, stops any further damage from happening, as Rain is going to be forced to pop a clue to stay alive, get a couple jumps in, going for zone. Unfortunately, it's going to be forced back as there comes a strike stop from Arrows of Gale, getting a couple back in, capping zone.
Yeah, absolutely. A pretty, Loctite start here from both teams, as we see now Arrows of Gale trying to push for the zone, but both teams are now vigorously painting zone. The zone's going to flip towards Encore. We see the bucket being pushed back here. Gwen, the bucket player, in the corner here, going to be trying pressuring right stack. The members of Encore a little bit clumped up there for a sec, as we see the Carbon now sharking up on the right stack, trying to look for a pick. Isn't going to find it. Now stuck in enemy ink, but they're going to be able to get a pick on Gwen, the bucket player that you just were looking at before. Now bringing up the Zuka, getting another pick. Maybe a third pick. No, not a third pick, but they're going to still keep on sharking around. The Carbon is going to be a relentless killing force from the side of Encore here, as they're going for yet another pick. They might get the pick on the Gal here. The Arrows of Gale really have to look out for this Carbon as they go 2 down now. It's not looking like a good start for Arrows of Gale.
Yeah, and I think Encore using the Carbon as kind of a distraction. Since those last couple of kills, the Carbon, while they didn't get those kills, was able to distract for the enemy team, as they do manage to get a nice flick there on this bucket, as Astro gets another pick on the bucket. Encore doing a really nice hold. Actual just popping off with 3 back-to-back snipes, going down to 20 and looking really strong hold here. You only have to really watch out for that ball point. There's a strikes coming out for Encore, and this might be game.
Yeah, absolutely. Encore have had a, really dominant showing here, as that's just going to be the end of the game. Arrows of Gale were nowhere close to getting the numbers in mid required to flip zone back, and Encore were just not phased. They held that zone, and I mean, you have to give a shout out to Astral on the Charger. Absolutely stone cold, getting, like you said, multiple picks in a row, kind of, carrying the man advantage for Encore here. I think Encore, have solidified themselves, like having these, really star players. We see the roller player, popping off, and we see the Charger, also getting lots of picks. They've certainly, got some, a couple players that are really giving them lots of pressure, lots of picks, and that's really helping them out here, as they, like I said, they're absolutely not phased in this game. They're playing off of each other well, and it's an easy lockout for them. They're not really letting Arrows of Gale get back to zone here. So, pretty interesting turn the tide here, as Encore are going to take the lead in the set 3-2.
Yeah, and I think it's just they've been. I think this comes a lot of preparation. Being prepared for this type of moment, because this is the last set of the season, probably until next year. So I think just being prepared and just knowing how to calm yourself down in these moments when the enemy team is just is throwing everything at you, just being able to slow down the game for even a little bit and giving yourself the time and just working around your teammates, that really does help out in securing leads. Because what happened a lot is that teams will kind of overreact and then end up dropping games or choking games because they just weren't able, or they just they were too consumed by the moment. But let's see if Encore will continue that in their 6th game, Manta Maria tower control.
Yeah, Mancha Maria, I don't I don't really like this map. I mean, I'm sure you'll disagree with me as a bucket player because this map's kind of good for buckets, but I don't. Manta Maria has never been my favorite map on TC. I mean, it's fine. TC is one of the more like tolerable map modes on this map in my opinion, but we're gonna hop in with the comps as we see pretty much the same comp coming out from the side of Arrows of Gale and the roller player with I believe it's a Japanese name. I don't know how to pronounce that, but they've gone back to the vanilla roller and they switched off Carbon. They were only on Carbon for that one game on Make Mart. But this roller is, once again going to be causing lots of havoc as we see both teams rolling to mid. No picks so far. What are your thoughts, Topic?
Yeah, and I think what Encore really wants to do with this roller is get them up on bunker as quick as possible. Since, like we talked about the last time the roller brought out, if a roller gets in a really bad spot for you, it's really hard to get them out. As we do see Arrows of Gale trying to go for a fight here, it's not going to work. Dizzy getting one. That's 3 down for Arrows of Gale, and now Encore has opportunity to push. They do take lead, however, and get the first checkpoint pretty uncontested. Now, the first checkpoint is relatively easy for the attacking team. However, once you get to that second checkpoint with that elbow, it becomes a real challenge and it's a vital choke point that you really want to hold.
Yeah, on basically any mode on this map, Manta Maria, that street area is going to be an incredibly highly contested area on the map. As we see Encore's push maybe fizzling out a little bit, but the Charger getting the pick on the 52 gal. I'm not even sure how that flick hit, but it did in fact get the pick off there. Maybe a little bit of Nintendo lag as we see the ballpoint just trying to hold strong on the side of Arrows of Gale. The bubble now coming up from the roller as 2 go down, 3 go down on the side of Arrows of Gale. Encore have certainly not given this up. They're going to keep on storming into the street of Arrows of Gale as the Arrows of Gale continue to not be able to deal with this roller. And just as I said, the roller does go down. Now trading here with the ballpoint, Splatling. As Arrows of Gale, they have, Encore, sorry, have not finished this push. They're going to keep on rolling the tower. Now going to be entering Arrows of Gale's court, but they're going to go 2 down. Perhaps this push is over. Still 1 person left. Being a little rat around the tower, and going to try and do something else, but they're going to have to jump out. And Arrows of Gale have their opportunity to take back mid and go for their push. As you see, the ballpoint has Inkjet, and they're going to be looking to, win fights here.
Yeah, but that is a potential game-winning push for Encore, since getting into the enemy court is really difficult, as they're going to try to start out, but to go 3 down, nice snipe there by Astro, and Encore is keeping this pressure up. As you can see, both members of Arrows of Gale are backed up, making sure that Encore has the space to work with. Even though they may not be able to push very far, they're able to keep the tower on Arrows of Gale's side and keep that pressure on them and force them to come to Encore's side. As right now, Encore in a full-out fight in mid, Astro gets the hit on 1, just looking for a couple more picks. It's not gonna, they are forced to back up just a little bit further, and now we're back in a really neutral situation. Though this is very helpful for Encore. The more time that runs off that clock, the higher the chances that they are going to win this game.
Yeah, absolutely. As we see the zap going down on the side of Arrows of Gale, not really what you want to see. Having your cooler player go down before they've really given you, the very important tactical or special, and they're not really going to be able to get any traction in mid. As another trade happens between the bucket and the roller, Encore still holding strong in mid. We see them pop their cooler. They're going to go on an all-out attack now. Having that cooler buff is very important to swing the momentum in your favor, as we see picks on both sides. The roller getting a very important pick for Encore, as they might try and get a push going here for them. They're going to be trying to push into, like I said, this very highly contested area of the street. The roller going in gets a trade on the 52 gal. We see that the roller just constantly going for these trades, and it really helps when you have tactical. You're able to get a trade and respawn faster than your opponent who doesn't have cooler. So that's definitely what the roller is looking to try and do here, as we see Encore now pressuring this ballpoint with the roller once again. And they're going to be trying to, just try to stall out this game. It might be hard for them to extend their lead. They really need to keep Arrows of Gale from getting their push, as now 2 go down once again on the side of Arrows of Gale, even further cementing Encore's presence in the middle of the map.
Yeah, and I've been just informed the roller's name is Maggie, I believe, so just a little tip for everyone out there, as we do see Encore is still going. Arrows of Gale, they have to break this hold that Encore has. They're getting these picks, just not at the right time, and at the best of getting these trades, which is still in Encore's favor. As with about 20 seconds left and only 2 members up for Arrows of Gale, Encore just has to hold on for a little bit longer to take this game.
Yeah, absolutely. We see the Gal now flanking around on the side of Encore. Going to be trying to go for picks as 2 go down once again for Arrows of Gale. This seems like a bit of a hopeless attempt. There's only 5 seconds left. We just see the Zap just
2,
sharking around in mid.
1.
Not much left to do as Encore is going to be easily taking this game 6 to make it 4-2 in the set. I mean, like, if there was that game wasn't perhaps the most dominant scoreline wise, but it certainly looked like that was the game where Encore had the most power over Arrows of Gale and Arrows of Gale's entire operation. They were just like camping out in mid, just like chilling as Arrows of Gale could not simply enter mid. They didn't really have that kind of coordinated 4-person team play that they needed to really uproot Encore's presence in mid, as we're seeing replays of the Gal just having a bit of fun, flanking around, trying to go for some picks because that's what they can. They're doing it because they can. I mean, Arrows of Gale really have to figure out a way to kind of deal with both the roller and the charger. I mean, I think that's kind of the main spot of difficulty here for Arrows of Gale, is they've got a very strong roller player to deal with and a very strong charger player to deal with. That 2 weapons that in the right hands can cause absolute destruction, and we're definitely seeing that from the side of Encore topic.
Yeah, but here we are. Arrows of Gale is on their last breath. They are down 4-2. They have to bring back these last 3 games if they want a chance to win. And it starts right here on game 7 on Rainmaker Hagglefish. Now, I think what they really need to deal with the roller and charger. From the games that they've lost, from I believe game 3, 5, and 6, what really has been killing them is the charger just getting those long range snipes on them, and the roller just peeking up out of nowhere and getting 1, 2, 3 picks and just allowing Encore to continue doing what they're doing. So I think for Arrows of Gale, their game plan has to be, okay, we need to have a special, like possibly Azuka, missiles, heck, even if you just target all the whales at the charger, you just gotta get something to move the charger. That's gonna be very, very important. And also, you gotta keep up the paint. You keep up the paint, that kind of limits what the roller can do. And if they can really hone in on those 2 aspects, I think they have a good chance of winning this game.
I mean, maybe I'm crazy, but I would totally, bring back the double NZAP play here. Maybe more coolers was the right play, as they're in fact gonna stick with their single cooler comp. Now bringing out the junior once again. We saw the junior come out a couple times before, but the junior, from the side of Rain, as we see pretty much a somewhat similar comp from Encore as we've seen before. Now the Carbon and the ZNF Charger specifically, but still they've got that roller charger combo that they have been so dominant with before, as already 1 goes down on the side of Arrows of Gale. Encore going to be trying to go in and get the first push, as the roller does get picked off by this junior here. And so far, Arrows of Gale have a major paint advantage in mid. Maybe perhaps the fact that Encore is running a roller and a charger, not a very high paint comp, but now 3 down on the side of Arrows of Gale, as Astral's going to get yet again added to the list of picks they've gone in this entire set, and Encore's going to have their first push of the game.
Yeah, and you even though Arrows of Gale does have that paint advantage, Encore does have 2 weapons that can one-shot, plus a 52, a very, very quick time to kill weapon. So they're just able to get these picks before Arrows of Gale can get the paint out, as Rain with a bomb rolling it on the pedestal is gonna stall him for a little bit longer. And now we do see Encore forced to back up just a little bit further. They're not all the way back in mid, however, they don't really need to be, as that's another 2 down for Arrows of Gale. Maggie here on the Carbon trying to shark underneath, or backing up at the moment, as they do decide to take it on this left side, going for a bit of that longer push, trying to again just keep time ticking. The more time that the Rainmaker is just sitting there or not, or just unpopped, the better your chances of winning the game is going to be.
Yeah, absolutely. That's, a little bit of classic Rainmaker stalling that we got going on there. But the left side can be a pretty viable route depending on, the shape of the game Left side isn't, a completely useless route like some other Rainmaker routes in this game, on other maps. As we see the Rainmaker just now sitting in mid, the strikes coming out from Arrows of Gale, as this Bucket's going to be trying to poke and, find some picks, but the Junior does go down. Still no
Oh,
really
gets the
real
charger.
Arrows of Gale, but the Aimjet coming out.
Oh,
Gets
gets
pushed. 2 picks, 3 down now on the side of Encore. If there was ever a chance to push, this would be it. They have to absolutely rush for it. Are they going to go for the left check? No, they're going to go for the right check. It looks like they're going to go for the left check, but they get sniped by the Charger. Simply an unmovable force of Astral on the ZNF Charger, not really letting them do
Wait,
anything.
they're still going.
That is still going. 3 down now. A full wipe, though. No lead for Arrows of Gale, as Encore have a pretty good defense there, but a little bit scary.
Yeah, we do see Encore just already pushing up, getting onto enemy plat almost right away. Astro running it down to 12. The last 2 of Arrows of Gale managing to get a couple more picks. However, they had to deal with Andu and Dizzy here, just painting the plat. It's not going to work. They are forced out. That's going to be 1 going down. And now with less than 2 minutes left, Arrows of Gale still have to go through that first checkpoint and even then get down to 11.
Yeah, I mean, that is the definition of a counter push. We saw them absolutely run and use that pedestal jump that is so, iconic on this map mode in specific, where you just jump the Rainmaker from the checkpoint pedestal to the plat and skip a bunch of points. You kind of have to go for that if you want to have a breakout push, as we see 2 go down now on the side of Encore. Arrows of Gale having a little bit of traction, as has been kind of rare in this set as of late, but they're going to try and go for this checkpoint that they just barely missed out on getting just before. 2 down, as you said, on the side of Encore. 3 go down. That's full wipeout. This could be exactly what they need. Rain already taking full space on their plat, now joined by Gwen, and they're going to be trying to go for the lead. They get the lead. They're going to go for the knockout. Only 4 remaining. What a push by the Rainmaker, getting it swerving past all of the defenses of Encore as they get it down to 4 remaining, and they take the very, dominant lead. Basically, Encore have to knock him if they want to win this game, and Arrows of Gale have, has somewhat seemingly prevented them from getting this set win so early on. And, I mean, wow. I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say, Topic.
You want to talk about a shift in momentum? That is a shift of momentum for the ages for Arrows of Gale. Just getting the wipeout at the exact right moment. And now they're going to try to move with this, as they unfortunately do go 1 down, but with about 15 seconds left, they're gonna have to play some defense. Andu getting another one. Here we go, possibly the last push of the game. That's 2 down for Encore. We do see Dizzy trying to go for a pick. It's not gonna work. Rain is still alive. The Rainmaker's the last one. 5, 4, 3. It's just the Carbon with the Zuka. They're gonna go down, and Arrows of Gale, from the clutches of defeat, pulls out a victory and forces a game 8. Oh my god.
What an absolute play by Arrows of Gale to get the lead, and then they did not let Encore do Encore stuff. They did not let them get yet another strong push. They actually, reverse card. They said, we're gonna pick you off, and we're not gonna let you get a push this time. And they held it tight, and they got the pick on the Rainmaker and prevented the overtime for Encore to take this to a 4-3 scoreline. I thought this might have been over Topic, but absolutely not. Arrows of Gale have, proven me wrong here. Look at that replay as we see Crashman, I believe is the name of that player, that just ran the Rainmaker all the way down to 4. Kind of a heroic play. And absolutely are gonna, putting their foot down here, not letting Encore take the set that easily, as yes, we do go to a game 8 on Clamblitz Scorch Gorge. Topic, what are your thoughts?
I'm still breathing. You had to give me a second, because okay, I'm gonna talk about this from Encore's perspective. That's gotta be a little bit deflating, because you had the trophy right there, and just get it taken away from you. They're gonna be coming back really mad to try to. I believe they want to try to go for this 1 push knockout on Clamblitz, on Clamblitz Scorch, and I do think that's possible. I do think with pretty good clam rotation, be able to keep the basket open for as long as possible, you are able to get a one basket rotation of like a full knockout. However, we're talking about Arrows of Gale. they got the momentum. They might be able to take this and run with it to the hills.
Yeah, momentum is the key word here. I mean, the absolute pop-off that had to happen on the comms of Arrows of Gale when they get that lead and secure the win to keep Encore from winning the set. I mean, that is momentum at its finest. They have to use that momentum, though, to keep on going in the set here. No really big comp changes. It seems like both these teams are really solidified with the comps they're going to be running. Still the Carbon and the Charger coming out from the side of Encore, as we see Crashman already in a bit of a tough spot with Cooler. Doesn't want to lose this Cooler. The bucket goes down on the side of Arrows of Gale as the Cooler comes out, and still no very obvious advantage for either team here. But now the ball point goes down from the side of Arrows of Gale. Encore having a strong start. Now the Charger gets another pick, and this could be a very strong start for Encore to, make their bid for the entire set here, as they still have match point, to take the entire Division 10 finals. And stamp their name on Ludi history here, as they're gonna, try and collect clams. A bit of, clam mania going on. Clams being passed back and forth. That can happen sometimes on Clamblets. A little bit of a coordination test there, as the Inkjet's gonna come out, try to cancel the back. It's gonna get the pick, as Arrows of Gale has successfully gotten 3 down on the side of Encore and have completely stopped their push.
Yeah, Encore, they were just a little bit too slow. They had the momentum there. They had everyone in mid. They were able to really get something going. However, that was a bit too late, as Arrows of Gale goes all the way down to 50 on their first push, just breaking this game wide open.
Yeah, absolutely. Momentum has never been stronger for Arrows of Gale, as they get all the way halfway down to a knockout in their very first push. Is a incredibly strong start on Clamblets. That can happen if like I said before, on the museum game, you have to have strong clam economy, and Arrows of Gale not only got many picks but had strong clam economy, and they're able to get that many points all for that reason. As we see now, the fight's gone back to the mid. Arrows of Gale still haven't lost all their traction, but they do go 2 down, and the roller does get it picked off. So that is going to be kind of a setback for Encore, as well, as their roller is, their main, killing power on that team comp. Fighting is still happening, and the junior goes down on the side of Arrows of Gale, as 2 go down on the side of Encore. Absolute picks on both sides, as the Arrows of Gale have made a clam ball. They're going to be trying to look for another push here, but it's still going to be difficult, as they don't really have enough picks. We see the Inkjet ready on the side of the ball point topic, as I mean, this is going to be a hard task for Encore to pull this one back.
Yeah, just like that, Arrows of Gale has life again, getting a pick on 1 on 2, and still scoring down to 49, 40, 37. A power clams at the ready, gets it down to 17, 3 on both sides. Arrows of Gale is just enforcing their will onto Encore, getting it down to 8.
Oh my
Encore
god.
is finally back on defense, going 2 down, or 2 for 3. My bad. But right now, Arrows of Gale have brought this game, or this set, back in their favor, getting it down to 8, while Encore has yet to score. They have to be feeling fantastic on cloud 9 right now. They just have to be able to do that same exact thing again, be able to hold them on defense, get maybe 1 or 2 more power clams in, and you're good to go.
Yeah, like I said, momentum, and the Zuko coming up from the Carbon gets a double pick. Honestly, not even that, significant for a Zuka. I mean, this is what you expect from a Zuka these days, is to get 2 picks in 1 shot. I mean, that's pretty average, as we see the basket finally opening for Encore, but no clams to back it up. Only their Zap has clams left, and there's no one really left there at the basket to put more clams in. We see the ink back coming out, but it's not really going to do much for Encore. A pretty, waste of an ink back there, as Arrows of Gale have successfully defended. And I mean, I think that there is so much momentum in Arrows of Gale. I would not be surprised if this goes to a Game 9 here, but we still have 50 seconds left. Massive lead for Arrows of Gale here, as 2 go down once again. Encore could be trying to get a second push in a row here, but they're going to have to score so many clams to get the lead back from Arrows of Gale.
Yeah, and they only have 13 available, so they don't really have that much to work with. They have to try to build power clams, or get clams as they're scoring, as the VAC does miss, and the Charger does get punished. The Carbon goes down. Gwen going a little bit forward, gonna get a pick on the 52, forces them to back out. And with about 20 seconds left, Arrows of Gale just has to hold on for dear life. Looks like that's not the best start for them, going 2 down. And now 10 seconds left. Encore needs a gigantic push to bring this game back in their favor.
Encore are knocking on the door of Arrows of Gale repeatedly here. The Inkback
Here
coming
we
out
go.
once again as we see the cooler as well. This is gonna have to be everything here, do or die to try and close the set here. The basket is open, but go down already.
Oh, that's three.
Only the Charger left on side of Encore. They're gonna try and put some clams in, but they're all alone. A jumper from the Gal.
That's it.
3 go down. All the jumps go down. No more players left up on side of Encore. A valiant effort at the end there to try and get, as we see some celebrations coming out from the side of Arrows of Gale, and they deserve it. They have taken this set to a Game 9, folks. This is absolutely wild as Encore failed to get that last-minute push to try and close out the set here. But honestly, I did not expect that to work to be so real, because, like, I mean, they had to score so many clams. But a Game 9, guys, between Encore and Arrows of Gale, and I gotta say, the momentum is so in the favor of Arrows of Gale. Like, they are gonna have such a big mental boost going into this deciding game here, because whoever wins this last game will take the entire division. Like, the entire division. This is such a monumental game here. And you really want that mental boost that Arrows of Gale have going into this, as they've just had 2 monstrous games back to back to bring themselves back into the set when it looked like they were about to get shut out by Encore. So I mean, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for this final game.
Okay, now, Giraffe, I have a question for you. Do you watch sports?
I do. I mean, some sports I do.
Well, if you watch sports, then you should know everyone's favorite 2 words. Game 7. In this case, it's Game 9, but it's the same effect. Everyone loves a Game 7, whether it be hockey, whether it be basketball, whether it be a baseball. Win or go home is the moment that we live for. Everything you've worked for has come down to this. In Splatoon, it's only 5 minutes. You have 5 minutes between crowned champions or walking home empty-handed. So if I was a betting man, I would say Arrows of Gale has to be feeling on cloud 9 right now. They brought it back from down 4-2, forcing a Game 9 on our final map mode of Division 10, ship-shaped cargo, Splat Zones.
Oh my gosh. This is gonna be the showdown of the century, all on one Splat Zone. I mean, this map mode is a single zone right in the middle of the map. I don't mind this map mode. It's a bit tricky because, you know, to get yourself into the enemy side of the map, you have to either push through the zone itself, which can be a highly contested area, or you have to drop off the top right side into, you know, basically a one-way drop that you can't really get back from. So it's very, very hard to kind of get a lockout started on this map mode. But if you can get picks off and have some quicker moving weapons dive through the zone and start getting picks on the enemy side of the map, you can have a pretty strong lockout, because then you can take top left, you can get your people set up, you have a large court to fight with. But, you know, retake is also not impossible on this map. So lots of dynamics to be looking at here. I'm assuming we're going to have the same comps from both sides. We know what to expect from both these teams going into this Game 9. I mean, Charger can be strong on this map. It's maybe not the best backline map, but definitely it can be strong, as we see once again the Roller and the Charger coming out from the side of Encore, and the same comp once again coming out from the side of Arrows of Gale. This is it, Topic. This is literally it. I am so excited as the teams roll out.
I'm kind of giddy. This is it. Game number 9. Encore, Arrows of Gale getting into it right away. Very little changes. We do see Meiji, they're going for the regular Roller, going with their comfort pick, and that's not a good start for Arrows of Gale. Already going 1 down. That's kind of forces Encore into a fight. That's 2 already. However, a bubble in zone, the junior range, trying to stay alive is not gonna work. And just like that, Encore trying to get a really strong hold here.
This is where the blood starts pumping, the heart starts pounding for Arrows of Gale as they know they have to do a do-or-die retake as the bucket goes down. Not a good start, but they do pick off Astral on the charger already. That will help with the retake as we see that members of Arrows of Gale popping Inkjet, throwing back into the bubble comes out. Gonna try to get back into this game here as they cap the zone, and they have now taken the momentum back into their favor on this map. But we do see that the Gal is on top right, gonna be trying to cause some problems for Arrows of Gale as they get two to hold the zone, and it goes back to the side of Encore. They do have penalty, but
that's
what
a quad.
Play.
That's a quad.
Oh my gosh,
that's a
4 picks from the Gal of Encore. Oh, Topic, this is incredible. This is incredible.
Ondu just possibly saved the game for Encore, not allowing Arrows of Gale, winning the 2v1, popping the whale, getting 2 more kills. That's gonna be a really good hold as Encore does break through their penalty. However, Arrows of Gale throws everything in the kitchen sink at the zone is gonna work. However, the ball point will go down to Ondu down to 52. Rain looking for a pick, it's not gonna work. Arrows of Gale breaks through their penalty, goes 3 down, and just like that, Encore is back in control of zone.
Yeah, we see Encore, you know, they haven't really, Arrows of Gale have not really been able to really get a big push here. They still have 74 remaining. Encore now holding strong. They've got the cooler coming out. We see the Gal gonna be trying to put up that wall, hold out the space for the Strays coming out. Nowhere to go for the Gal. There's a flank now from the side of Arrows of Gale. They get a pretty easy retake. Not even like sweating it. They're already pushed up. I mean, this is what you want to expect from good team play here, as the one player is still on the top right here for Encore. They're going to be trying to cause bombs again. It is the roller. They do go down, but the zone flips back back to Encore. Now specials coming out from both sides. Players all over the map. Paint on zone everywhere. You know, cooler coming out from the side of Arrows of Gale as the zap does go down directly afterwards. 1 down on both sides as we see an all-out skirmish for this middle of the zone. The game has gone into a complete 50-50 here. The scores are even pretty close as we see maybe a little bit of lag, but I can't feel this on for too long. 2 down now inside of Arrows of Gale.
Yeah, but both teams have to watch these top uppers bridge when they're pushing in, as Encore will take control of zone for a moment. However, Rain is here to just paint over. It's gonna work. That's another pick. Ballpoint gets 1. Astro gets the ballpoint here. With about 2 minutes left, it's just a ton of fighting. Both teams really want to win this game, as we do see Arrows of Gale are gonna take control of zone for right now. Meiji jumps out in the nick of time as the Arrows of Gale are going to be able to force their way through their penalty. However, just like that, Encore is taking control of zone. They're going 3 down. However, it's right now, the Crash Mat is going to be forced to jump out, and Encore is looking to hold on to this for dear life.
Yeah, Encore having score tick down. We saw maybe the zap on the side of Arrows of Gale will be able to cause some problems, but they are going down. Once again, the bucket goes down as well. 2 down. This could be it for Encore. They're holding fast here. 10 points left. The Arrows of Gale have to rush down. The Gal is going for it. Someone goes for it. They go down. 2 down now on the side of Arrows of Gale, and that's going to be it for Encore. They have held to the very, very end to take it all the way to a knockout on ship-shaped zones, and they are your Ludi Div 10 champions, or Div 10W champions. Oh my god, I am shaking. I am shaking. Topic. That was a thrilling last game, as they are gonna take, oh my gosh.
Oh my game, gosh. Series, playoffs, it's
division. Season
done. Encore at the absolutely necessary just holds on. Dizzy, Andu, Astro, Meiji, all 4 of them just played really well at the very end. They had the scare of Arrows of Gale winning 2 games, forcing a game 9. But you know what? They had ice in their veins. They remained cool, calm, and collected. Even when Arrows of Gale was pushing in that last game, they made sure to play their game. They made sure to take care of those top bridges. They made sure that they had everything covered for it. They made sure anytime they got into a fight, it was at least a trade. They just played this game so well, and they will be rewarded for their efforts with the gold.
Oh my gosh. Like, I mean, yeah, you said it yourself, they had to be cool and collected. But I mean, Arrows of Gale had unbelievable amounts of momentum going into that final match, like we talked about so much before. And for Encore, who for sure were feeling very much, down about having missed out on two match point opportunities, and they had to have some kind of pep talk. They had to say to themselves, we cannot let this take control of our mental. We have to focus up, go back to what we always do. They brought out the charger, they brought out the roller, as we've seen them pretty much every single game of this set, and they went back to their winning ways, and they reminded everyone that they were the dominant force at the beginning of the set and through the middle, and they took it back for game 9 when it really mattered. And like you said, they are rewarded with the crown of Div 10W. They are your winners.
Yeah,
So
I have
congratulations.
nothing. I was gonna say the same thing. I have nothing else to say, but congratulations to Encore. Arrows of Gale, they gave us a very entertaining set. I will say that. I watched a couple of the Ludi finals earlier, or Ludi sets earlier today. This one was probably the most entertaining. So I salute to both teams for just an exciting time.
Absolutely. This is by far the most exciting set I've ever commentated here on Ludi tonight, and I am so glad to have been here with you, Topic, as we crown the champions of Div 10W. But, it is not over for the broadcast today, as later tonight we have Division 9A finals, as well as one other match I believe that we're looking at here. Oh, both Division 9 finals,
Okay.
Division 9W and Division 9A, at 8:30 p.m. EST and 10 p.m. EST, respectively. I mean, those I might have to watch those matches as well, because those seem that they're gonna be very exciting. Topic. I mean,
Well,
I still can't breathe. I still can't
Well, I
breathe.
don't want to toot my own horn here, but I will be. Well, my team is in the Div 9A finals in the trenches, so I will be playing in that, and we're gonna put on a show. That's all I'm gonna say. We're going to put on
All
a show.
right. All right. Yeah, my team was in Div 9A, but we did get knocked out earlier this season. So oh boy. I mean, like, I definitely stay tuned for those sets, guys. Lots of finals. We are in that time of the year with Ludi finals. So definitely tune in for those matches. But that is gonna be it for the two of us. For today's broadcast, I mean, yeah, by far, like, I've just been, blown away with how exciting this set was. But unfortunately, that's gonna be it. So I mean, I guess I'll just plug myself. You can find me on Twitter at GiraffeGSpamton. And yes, that is a Deltarune reference. Topic, where can the people find you?
Well, you can find me over on Twitter. I'm Toxic though. Find me on Discord. Topic 2. I will be playing later tonight in the Div 9A finals. So you should watch that. It'd be really entertaining. So yeah, that's with that being said, that's gonna be all from us from SplatoonTourney right now. Though later tonight, we're gonna have a lot more Splatoon action coming for you, as it's just the beginning of a very entertaining finals week. And with that, stay tuned. Later today, more division finals action coming to you today.
Yeah, peace.